Rolex promises you a crown for every achievement, but when you finally walk into a dealership to claim your prize, you're told the crown isn't for sale. Today we're exposing the reality of the Rolex Experience in 2025. It's not a luxury journey for most people, it's a joke. And by the end of this, you'll understand the unspoken rules of the game and why Rolex's biggest marketing tool is now its competitor's best salesman. If you appreciate an honest look at the world of luxury, go ahead and like this video, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. The entire Rolex brand is built on a simple, powerful idea. You've worked hard, you've succeeded, and this watch is your trophy. It's a message they've perfected for over a century, associating their watches with the absolute pinnacle of human achievement. They sponsored Mercedes Glitzer's swim across the English Channel in 1927. They partner with Wimbledon, Le Mans, Roger Federer, and Martin Scorsese. The tagline says it all. It doesn't just tell time. It tells history. The marketing is so effective that buying a Rolex is meant to feel like a rite of passage, a final validation that you've arrived. The boutique experience is supposed to be the celebratory ceremony for that achievement, respectful, personal, and unforgettable. But for a huge number of buyers today, that promise is a complete fiction. The reality is a cold, frustrating, and often demeaning process. You walk into an authorized dealer, or AD, ready to spend a significant amount of money, only to face the first slap in the face, the exhibition-only phenomenon. The display cases are full of the world's most desirable watches, but none of them are for sale. This immediately creates a massive power imbalance. You're not a valued customer, you're someone who has to prove you're worthy. For those who get past the empty cases, the reception is often just as empty. Customers worldwide report being completely ignored by sales staff who are more interested in their phones. When you do get to speak with someone, the attitude is often described as dismissive, wary, or even haughty. A uniquely negative experience when compared to boutiques for other high-end brands. If you persist, you quickly learn that buying a Rolex is not a transaction. It's a game with a set of unspoken rules. First, forget about a waitlist. Dealers don't use a first-come, first-served system. They manage interest lists, and they decide who gets a watch based on their own secret criteria. To get to the top of that list, you have to play the AD Gauntlet. The most important rule is purchase history. ADs openly prioritize clients who have spent a lot of money with them before, especially on high-margin jewelry. The message is clear: the privilege of buying a steel sports watch at retail is a reward for giving them more profitable business in the past. This leads directly to the second rule, bundling. Customers are often pushed to buy less popular two-tone or precious metal watches, or thousands of dollars in jewelry just to build the relationship and get a shot at the watch they actually want. This practice jacks up the true cost of that watch far beyond its retail price. Finally, you have to cultivate a personal relationship with a salesperson. This means regular visits, without being pushy, and performing your role as a genuine enthusiast who will cherish the watch forever. The entire luxury model has been turned on its head. You are no longer a client to be served, but a candidate to be vetted. The AD holds all the power, and the main product they're selling isn't a watch, but access to buy a watch at its sticker price. So why does this absurd system exist? It all comes down to the market. The idea that Rolex watches are rare is a carefully managed illusion. Rolex is an industrial powerhouse that produces an estimated 1.2 million watches a year, giving it over 30% of the market. The scarcity you see in stores is artificial. Rolex intentionally limits the supply of a few hyper-desirable steel models, like the Daytona, GMT Master II, and Submariner, to create a massive halo effect that boosts the desirability of their entire catalog. The empty display case is a calculated sales tool. A customer who can't get a steel Pepsi GMT might be persuaded to buy a more profitable two-tone Datejust instead, hoping it will improve their chances later. And this strategy has created a massive gap between a watch's retail price and its real-world market value. This is purely informational, not financial advice. But in 2025, a steel Daytona has a retail price of around $16,000. On the secondary or grey market, it sells for about $37,000. That's a premium of 131%. A GMT Master Pepsi retails for about $11,100, but trades for $23,000, more than double. The dealer knows this. When they make you wait years for a watch, they are asking you to ignore an instant $20,000 profit. This is the economic engine that powers the entire dysfunctional system. The biggest consequence of this broken experience is that affluent, motivated buyers are walking away. Rolex spends billions creating customers who are ready to drop 5 figures on a watch, only for its own retail network to turn them away at the door. And these customers don't just go home, they walk straight into a competitor's boutique. One story tells of a customer who, after a frustrating Rolex encounter, went right into a Breitling flagship store and spent $20,000 on the spot. This isn't a one-off story, it's a pattern. Brands like Omega and Grand Seiko are reaping the rewards. Omega's boutiques are well-stocked and welcoming. You can actually try on and buy a Speedmaster. Grand Seiko offers craftsmanship that many argue surpasses Rolex, and you can buy one in a straightforward, respectful transaction. The broken Rolex Experience is now an unintentional multi-million-dollar marketing subsidy for its rivals. So let's recap. First, Rolex has built one of the world's most powerful brands on a promise of celebrating achievement, a promise that its retail experience fundamentally betrays. Second, the AD Gauntlet is a calculated game of artificial scarcity and gatekeeping designed to maximize dealer profits, not to serve the customer. And finally, this arrogant system is actively driving a generation of wealthy buyers directly to competitors who are happy to offer the luxury experience Rolex only pretends to. So here is the real question. Would you play the humiliating Rolex game for years to get the watch you want at retail? Or would you take your money to a competitor and be treated with respect today? Let me know your choice in the comments.